Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu salamu ala rasulillah. This next episode or this next installment of fasting from Umdat al-Fiqh, Al-Hafid ibn Qudam rahimahullah ta'ala, he says with Thalith, الحامل والمرضع إذا خافتا على أنفسهما أفطرتا وقضتا وإن خافتا على ولديهما أفطرتا وقضتا وأطعمتا عن كل يوم مسكينا. The pregnant woman and the breastfeeding woman, when they fear for themselves, then they break their fasts and they make up those days at another time. And if they fear for their children, then they break their fasts and they make up those days and they feed for every day a poor person. This is number 3 of the types of people that may break their fast. So why do they have the dispensation to break their fast if they are pregnant or breastfeeding? Because in this sense, they are analogous to the one who is ill or has a medical condition that may harm them. And because of that, their personal harm, they are allowed to break their fast and then complete it later. Why are they able to break their fast and then make up that fast and then also pay an expiation for having broken that fast? Because while they are fearful of the harm that could come to their children, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَهُ فِدْيَةٌ طَعَامُ مِسْكِينٍ. And upon those who are able to fast, then they must pay a fidya, they must pay an expiation of feeding the poor. And this is the madhab, and there are other opinions on this issue. However, this is the madhab of the Hanabila in this sense. The fourth type of people are those who are incapable or incapable of fasting. He says, وَالْعَاجِزُ عَنَ الصِّيَامِ لِكِبَرٍ أَوْ مَرَضٍ لَا يُرْجَى بُرْؤُهُ فَإِنَّهُ يُطْعَمُ عَنْهُ كُلَّ يَوْمٍ مِسْكِينًا. So, the one incapable of fasting due to old age or illness, which is not hoped to be cured, i.e., a chronic illness, then for every day a poor person is fed. And this goes back to that rubric that I described earlier about illnesses being chronic, non-chronic, and so on and so forth. And so the same evidences apply there. Now, Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he says about the idea of the fidya, he says, كانت رخصة للشيخ والمرأة الكبيرة وهما يطيقان الصيام أن يفطر ويطعم مكان كل يوم مسكينا والحبلى والمرضع إذا خافتا على أولادهما أفطرتا وأطعمتا. He radiallahu anhu, he says, this was a dispensation for the elderly man and the elderly woman, that if they are able to fast, that they break their fast and they pay for or they feed instead of that for every day a poor person. And for the pregnant woman and the breastfeeding woman, if they are fearful for their children, to break their fast and to feed. And this is narrated by Sunan Abi Dawud. And I actually wrote an article that I actually need to update on my website. So inshallah ta'ala I will soon, but I wrote an article specifically about this issue of pregnancy and fasting while pregnant. He then says, وَعَلَى سَائِرِ مَنْ أَفْطَرَ الْقَضَاء لَا غَيْرٍ إِلَّا مَنْ أَفْطَرَ بِجِمَاعٍ فِي الْفَرْجِ فَإِنَّهُ يَقْضِي وَيُعْتِقُ رَقَبَةً فإن لم يجد فصيام شهرين متتابعين وإن لم يستطع فإطعام 60 مسكينا فإن لم يجد سقطت عنه فإن جامع ولم يكفر حتى جامع ثانية فكفارته واحدة وإن كفر ثم جامع فكفارة ثانية وكل من لزمه الإمساك في رمضان فجامع فعليه كفارة. So he says, then he goes into he says, and upon everyone other than these people, whoever breaks their fast must make that up. No other, with no other solution, except for the person who breaks their fast due to sexual intercourse or sexual intercourse involving the sexual organs, because that person will then make up that day and then free a slave as an expiation. If they don't find a slave to free, then they must fast for 2 consecutive months. And if they are unable, then they must feed 60 poor people. And if they don't find any of that due to their poverty, right? So say, like, for example, they can't find a slave to free, they don't have that money, they're incapable of fasting 2 consecutive months due to health issues, and they're unable to feed 60 poor people, then that expiation falls to the wayside, and they must simply make tawbah from that sin of violating the sanctity of daytime in Ramadan. He then goes on to talk about several issues. If he were to have intercourse and not have paid his expiation, then it would, and then had intercourse again, it would be expiate. It would be 1 expiation, and if he paid expiation and then had intercourse again, then it would be a 2nd expiation. And anyone who is obligated to abstain during the daytime of Ramadan and has intercourse, then they must pay the expiation. So there's no difference between male and female in this instance. And inshallah ta'ala, in the next set of issues that he brings up, we're going to talk a little bit about those who are making up their fasts and how they should make it up between now and the next Ramadan. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.